कोई चांस ही नहीं था कि राइटिंग में करियर बनाने का, वो तो होता ही नहीं है. So I put money in the stock market. I kept saving in my bank.
What advice would you give to the people who are just starting their journey?
I was doing double job. I was trying to build my writing career. I was also in banking. I was eating too much. सस्ता डेटा, सस्ता आटा, इससे मर जाओगे तुम. I was very scared that I will lose my colleagues. I saw there is a whole community of these dropouts. You know, an entrepreneur is spiritual.
A person who's going to bring your energy back up, somebody that you already know, a very popular personality. In fact, I'm not going to introduce. Why don't we play a quick reel and we bring this personality in? All right, let's bring him in. To one and only the man Chetan Bhagat was inspired. So many people inspired me as well. Namaste Chetan ji, how are you?
Hi guys, hi everybody. Wow, so many people, and I'm here in New York. It's early morning. I know it's late there. Thank you for adjusting the time for me. I know my seminar was earlier, so firstly, thank you for that. And I was just listening to the last few minutes of what you were saying about energy, and of course about real estate and how what you think is an asset is actually may not even be an asset. Yeah, I like it. It's really nice to be here to motivate guys who literally, like, I think a lot of us don't maximize our potential. बहुत से लोग अपनी औकात को पार नहीं कर पाते. मैं उसे औकात बोलता हूँ जो उसे पोटेंशियल बोलते हैं. मतलब वो बहुत जरूरी है, कि जल्दी लाइफ में सोचना कि मैं अपनी बेस्ट लाइफ जीनी है. सबको सबसे बड़ी बात यह है गाइस. एंड या इट्स रियली नाइस दैट आई एम हैप्पी कि आपने मुझे चुना एज अ स्पेशल स्पीकर टू कम एंड मोटिवेट यू. एंड जो मैंने सीखा है, जो मैंने honestly I'm going to share with you guys. I mean, it's really about that. मैंने इतनी फिल्में कर ली, इतनी बुक्स कर ली, चलो 2 और कर लूंगा, 2 फिल्में और हिट हो जाएंगी, 2 किताबें और हिट हो जाएंगी. ठीक है, वो मेरे रेज्यूमे में जुड़ेगा, 10 की जगह 12 हो जाएगा. लेकिन वो टाइम में मैं अगर आप जो हंड्रेड्स ऑफ लोग हैं उनको मोटिवेट कर दूं, उनको कहीं पहुंचा दूं, और एक दिन वो बोले हाँ यार हमने सुना था चेतन ने बोला था, बात अच्छी लगी, उसकी वजह से मेरी लाइफ चेंज हो गई. अभी भी मेरे यूट्यूब वगैरह पे लोग लिखते हैं कि सर आपकी वजह से मैं पुलिस में इंस्पेक्टर बन गया, आपकी वजह से मैं ये जॉब कर रहा हूँ. तो एक आई थिंक दैट इज अ मोर सैटिस्फाइंग. दैट्स द स्टेटस आई एम एट इन लाइफ. सो यस, आई एम हियर. आई एम वेरी हैप्पी टू बी हियर. थैंक यू फॉर हैविंग मी.
Thank you for coming and being so humble and so good in terms of sharing your knowledge, because बहुत लोग आगे बढ़ जाते हैं but very few people actually have the heart to share with people and inspire and motivate people to go to the next level. And I can already see the chat going wild. So everybody's excited. So let's get started, Chetan ji. So last time you were in Dubai when we spoke, and now you're in New York. You traveled the world, but let's go to the beginning, because a lot of people see you who you are. Like you're personality, you're writing books, movies have been made on your books, you've also acted in some of the series and things that you do. But life आपने शुरुआत कैसे की? Like how you're in a job, how did you find your passion? How did you find the passion of writing? I think that is going to be very crucial.
Yeah, I mean, good question. And you're right कि लोगों को एक certain impression रहता है कि एक ये है चेतन भगत और उसकी एक कहानियां हैं, और 2 states 3 years, लगता है मस्ती 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 करके. मैं मस्ती करता हूँ, मैं मजे करता हूँ लाइफ में, रोज करता हूँ, लेकिन रोज काम भी बहुत करता हूँ. एंड आई थिंक इट्स इम्पोर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड कि कैसे हुआ पैशन फॉर राइटिंग. और कुछ बातें मैं यहाँ बोलूंगा जैसे मीडिया के इंटरव्यू में नहीं बोलूंगा. शायद मीडिया के इंटरव्यू में बोलूंगा बस यार पैशन था, कहानी लिखनी थी, लिख डाली. ऐसे नहीं होती लाइफ. मैंने मिडिल क्लास फैमिली में मेरा जन्म हुआ था. एंड ऑल्दो आई हैड एन इंटरेस्ट इन राइटिंग, आई हैड नो कोई चांस ही नहीं था कि राइटिंग में करियर बनाने का. वो तो होता ही नहीं है. कहानियां सुनाने का शौक था और मैथ्स अच्छा था, तो मम्मी ने कहा कहानियां भूल जाओ और मैथ्स करो. तो वो करते करते हमने इंजीनियरिंग करी. इंजीनियरिंग करने के बाद हमने I went, then engineering I did, then people said you must do an MBA now, so I did an MBA. And I took the highest paying job I could get from the campus. I'm being very honest about it. And there is no shame in that. So, first lesson, as I tell my story, I'll keep telling you a lesson. There's no shame in earning money if you don't come from money. Most of us don't come from money in India, right? Most of our parents are not that rich and all that. So, I wanted to make some money, and I said, okay, now it's time to make money. Yes, there is a passion. I want to do writing. I don't want to do banking. I know that. But right now, it's the passion has to be kept in. It doesn't have to die. Don't kill your passion. It doesn't mean it's gone, but I have to lower the flame. You know, in the gas, you lower it to the lowest point right now, because right now is money making stage. Right now, at the young age, I have to work hard. That's the opportunity I got. That time there wasn't so much online. I mean, the internet had just started. Although I know that a few years later it just boomed. Some of my friends have opened these unicorns. You know, some of my college mates are opening these big companies. I didn't open that, but again, lesson number two, that was not my passion. You know, it's not just about money. My passion was to write, to be in the entertainment industry, which I really didn't know how to get into. तो मैंने कहा चलो पहले पैसे बनाते हैं. फिर मैंने पैसे बनाए. I remember when I was in banking, we had very good salary, and a lot of my friends used to um, live well. I also used to live well in Hong Kong. Lekin I deliberately, and me, even my wife actually was working in a bank with me. She's also from Ireland, but we deliberately tried to save a lot of money. Doesn't mean we were like ekdam ganjus, makki chus. You have to be practical. You have to enjoy. You have to enjoy the weekends. But we try to save a lot. So that's number one thing. We try to save. It depends. Everybody has a different salary or income, and whatever their business is earning. But try to save maximum. Ask yourself, do you need this? You know, ask yourself, do you need this? And I think we tried to save. And number two, I started investing early. I was lucky that it's not like the bank tells you to invest. Bank is making you do one aspect of the bank. But I had some colleagues in the bank who were always investing in the stock market, and I was very curious. So I said, chalo, I will do. So whatever little money I had, I started investing. In fact, I lost also. I remember initially I lost a lot of money because I didn't know what I was doing properly. And but that didn't make me give up. I didn't feel like, oh my god, I've lost money. I will. There are some people. I mean, I literally lost $500. I remember my first investment was $500, and I lost that money. So I could have. There are some people I know who lost that money and then said, I'm not never touching the stock market again. I was like, no, I will learn. So I put money in the stock market. I kept saving in my bank, and I then after some years, I thought, okay, that dream of being a writer, it's not dead. It's just dormant. Usko side pe rakha tha. Yeah. So then I made a calculation. I made a spreadsheet. I said, what's the basic I need to be happy? Not luxury life. What's the basic life? In fact, and you have to understand, a lot of my batchmates are from IIM, from IIT. They are in very high positions, and I am trying to quit my job, and and they are all earning money, and we all compare with our friends only, right? We all compare कि ये क्या कर रहा है.
At that time, how many years you were in the job at that time?
So I was 10, 11 years. So after I worked for 10 to 11 years. But I would say my first book came out within 5 years of me working in the bank, 2004. But I quit in 2009. So you have to understand 5 more years I was doing, because I was not at my spreadsheet, as they say, did not allow me to quit yet. So वो भी करना होता है कई बार लाइफ में, साइड बाय साइड भी करना होता है. अगेन नो शेम इन दैट. तो क्या हो गया, यू नो, ये जो आर्ट स्टाइल रहना है कि हाँ भाई अब सब कुछ छाड़ के करेंगे, वो नहीं होगा. समटाइम्स यू हैव टू बी प्रैक्टिकल. आई हैड अ फैमिली, आई हैड किड्स, वो करके. बट या आई सेड ओके, व्हाट इफ आई हैव टू लिव इन अ 2 bedroom हाउस? माय फ्रेंड्स वर लिविंग इन 4 bedroom हाउसेस. What will a 2 bedroom cost? What will I earn? My income would have been at that time dropped 90%. So if I made 100 in banking, I would make 10 in writing, or maybe 5, not even 10. So I was like, okay, if 100 becomes 5, and how much do I need to live? Can I? And I realized if I'm making 100 in a bank, can I live in 25? Okay. So can I have like a 20 of savings, ki 20 करके फिर देखेंगे. Of course, today it has gone far beyond that 100. It has become 200, 300 of the bank. So which has taken a lot of work. You know, people call me a very overnight success. But first book, guys, came out in 2004. 2002 में लिखनी चालू की होगी. So this overnight success has taken 20 years. So that's the other lesson. It takes time. It takes time. Even with like, so there is that hustle, there is that energy you need to bring in, but you also need to do it for a very long time. And that's okay.
So
And then even,
what was going
yes,
ahead at that time? So I think it's wonderful. First of all, give a big round of applause for
अरे
the
नहीं यार, thank you
like
so much.
what he rightly said, that a lot of people think it's an overnight success, overnight success, overnight success. It does not happen. There is no overnight success. You have to work for it, make your way out and do that. So from the period of 2004 where you wrote your first book to 5 more years, what was going in your head at that time? Were you like, what, oh, I think it's going to happen, or were you like, what exactly was happening at that time?
That's a good question. Um, a lot was going in my head because I thought, oh my God, it's really happening. It's really happening now. I have written a book, but what was going in my head is, am I ready to take a 95? And I mean, initially it was no income. So am I ready to go from 100 to 2, in my income, or to 5, even if after a few years it increased? And the answer was no. And the answer of everyone around me was no. You're only like, I was like 31, 32 years old. So you're going to leave this really international banking job because you wrote some book. And like some kids, like young people in India, liked the book. So now you're not leave. Bet your whole life on that. What if young people find another writer tomorrow? What if they forget you, right? What if they feel like, okay, like these are the things going on. So the fear is real, you know. It's not like, even with the best of planning, there is fear. With the best of planning for any entrepreneur, you guys call it passionpreneur. I call myself authorpreneur. For any entrepreneur, that moment will come where the risk is there. Where you say, what we say in Hindi, fatti hai, or joli fatti hai. How to say it in English? Like, it
Yeah.
just is a Hindi word, but it basically means like you're just so scared, and you have to pull the trigger at some point. You can try to cushion it a little bit, right? You can wear a life jacket. You can wear, even I put a life jacket on you. I tell you to jump off a plane with a parachute. It's not like you will say, oh, okay. I mean, unless you've done it hundreds of times. The first time you do it, you will be super scared. Even though I give you 100 reasons, you are safe. Don't worry. We have tied a wire to you. Don't worry. We have a parachute. Don't worry. Don't worry. You won't. You will still. And I tell you, now jump. You'll be like, no.
I did that
So it's,
skydiving in Dubai, so I know how it feels. Can we just have Chetanji on the screen, remove me, and just keep switching between both of us? So then you were scared and you were worried, and you were taking the cut, and hoping that things was going to work out. How did you handle the fear? Like at that time, and when you were worried whether it's going to work out or not, how did you handle the fear? Like, what did you tell yourself? Did you read books? Did you find the mentors? Like, because right now I'm asking you is because all the people who are watching you, they are probably at the stage that you were, that you had the direction, you found your passion, and you just got started by writing first book. And of course, you did really great with multiple books becoming popular. These people, all these people are watching, the future passionpreneurs or passionpreneur right now, they are just getting started. And you talk about fear, I'm sure everybody will relate to that fear, right? Many
yeah,
people
yeah.
are, we are afraid or not. So how can somebody handle the fear? Like, how did you handle the fear? And what advice would you give to the people who are just starting their journey?
Hmm. Hmm. So, guys, and everyone listening, I'm honestly telling you this. I didn't handle the fear well. I didn't handle it well. There was no YouTube at that time. There were no summits. There were no webinars. There was nothing. There was nothing. You don't know. Yeah, there were some books. You could read some books, but it's one thing to theoretically read something and quite another to put it in practice. So I didn't handle it very well. My health suffered because I was doing double job. I was trying to build my writing career. I was also in banking. I was eating too much. I was very scared that I will lose my colleagues. I remember we all felt like, okay, I have a routine. I wake up in the morning. I take a shower. I walk to the. I was staying quite close by. I take a, I go to the bank. I live in South Mumbai. Everything is there. What is wrong in it? People are dying to get this life. It's a dream for people to work like this. I live near Kolaba, and I had the bank, Deutsche Bank. I remember I had a historical building in Fort. I was like, my God, like, this will go. What will I do with my day? You know, I remember bank used to give us a BlackBerry. And I was like, how can I live without a BlackBerry? In fact, one of the first things I did, that was an indulgence. That time it was an indulgence, that I got a BlackBerry when I quit. I said, so that at least like, like physically, I feel like I'm holding that BlackBerry I used to hold. and I didn't handle it well. But I'm telling you guys, there is no other path to greatness. There is no path to greatness if you don't conquer this fear. This train will go from there. ये train वहीं से जाएगी. You know, you will have to face that fear. You want to open a business, you know, you want to start a new job, you know, start a venture, follow some passion. At one day that will come. Now, I'm not saying go crazy. So you see the difference. Some people say just go for it. You know, no, don't break your head. I mean, wear a helmet, but you have to ride the bike. You know, so I didn't handle well. That is why it took 5 years. And then in fact, that is when after I came out, I realized that a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people, that's how I became a motivational speaker. And now I'm not as scared. You know, like, in fact, now I'm not even a writer in a way, like just a writer. If you take income, only 20% of my income comes from writing. Only 20%. So when I left, it was, so 80% is other things that are happening, motivational talks and content and things like that, you know. So that's there.
I,
But
I remember my time, Chetanji, when I quit my job, I also was very scared. And for me, it happened in 2018. So 4 years ago. So abhi bhi wo taza feeling hai. I was still a fresh feeling. And I was really scared. I was still exactly nervous. I think lucky.
how did you deal with it? Let me ask you a question.
So what I did is I actually even documented. By the way, it's an interesting video of I quit bye bye. I may maybe share with all the mentees maybe later. But I actually documented all the nervous feelings that I have, the anxiety that I had, the worry that I had, and I remember me walking back and forth, right, in my hall, and I was saying to myself, I'm gonna do it. I'm like एक time पे ऐसा हो रहा था, shit, what if it doesn't work? Do I have to sell my house? Do I have to sell my car? Do I have to borrow a loan? Do I have to go live with my mother? No education for my daughter. Like I was like, what do I do? As all the negative spiral of the thoughts was going on one side, and on the other side, I was like, man, this is the time to get hold of your mind because mind is just controlling you. And I said, let me change it to positive affirmation. And I just whatever came to my mind, I just started talking. And that time I had just written my first book, right? 80% mindset, 20% skills. And I just said, I'm not going down. I'm not going to sell my car. I'm not going to sell my house. I'm not going to do anything. I am freaking an author and I'm going to freaking make 30 lakhs. I'm making 30 lakhs in my job for a year. I'm going to freaking make 30 lakhs in a few months. And guess what happened? In just 2.5 months, I made equal money than I would typically make in my business within just 2.5 months. So I conquered with the help of my mentor, through my self-talk, some affirmation. So this really helped me.
Good. Yeah. And like a support group, like this community, like knowing other people. So one thing you don't know, I'll give you one thing. Like when you, at least for me, I thought I will never be able to make friends because abhi to sare friend bank ke hain, batchmates hain. So it's a real fear. It's apart from me. But once you quit, I remember quitting and then we moved to Bandra side. We took a place and I saw there is a whole community of these dropouts, there's a lot of people who are trying to do their venture. They would sit in cafes and, different degrees of success, different degrees, but I was not alone. And I realized I'm not alone. I mean, they may not all be wanting to be writers. Some wanted to be writers, some wanted to open a business, some were doing startups, but they were all with corporate background and they had decided to take a break and do something else. And then you realize, and I think you don't need 100, but having 2-3 people like that who understand your it's very different. Insecurities, your fears, also the other thing, like you have to make your own routine. You can go for your passion, you can quit the job, but job gives you structure. I'm sure you felt this also. Mat karo kaam, sote raho, don't go don't work out, and that's wrong. So I want to tell people that even though you're going on your own and you are going to get more freedom, I mean, I call it a way to get free, you will also still need a lot of discipline. If you want to achieve something in life, if you want to get somewhere in life, you can use your freedom to do nothing and watch Netflix and eat kurkure all day and get fat and poor. But if you want to get somewhere, even on your own, you need to create your own self-discipline. I mean, I don't know. Did you feel that as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think I think we underestimate the amount of effort it takes to build the freedom for yourself. And once you have the freedom, what do you do with that? And I think what you said was so true, that having some like-minded people who you can talk to is, yaar mere ke dil mein aisa chal raha hai, I'm feeling this, does that happen with you as well? Then you realize, yaar main akela nahi, thank God I'm not the crazy one alone here. And when you have that support system through like a group of people, whether for you, meeting people in Bandra, for me it was the community of Danlock, one of my mentors, Danlock, having that community of exchanging the idea, learning from a mentor, that knowing that it's okay, यहाँ से ट्रेन जाता ही है, everybody goes through the same process, everybody goes through the same pain of the struggle and fear. So for me also it was the same thing. Now one of the important aspects, Chetanji, I realize many people, whether in my industry as a coach, as a trainer, now also you also becoming trainer and motivator speaker in our industry, a lot of coaches, trainers, people are following their passion. They so love their art, their craft, like whether they want to write a book or the trainer or coach, they love it so much. But one side, they forget that they also need to make money by marketing themselves, selling themselves, promoting themselves, and make money from it as well. Because one of my mantra I say is, if the passion does not pay, it will become poison. You just passion keep
Wow, nice. Yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah. So how did you consciously build your brand? Because you have a very powerful brand. बहुत author हो गए India में, but your positioning, your brand is like unique. Like it just everybody, बच्चा बच्चे को पता है, who is Chetan Bhagat. So did you consciously build your brand apart from just because you wrote a lot of books and then you quit, and then did it happen consciously or did it happen by luck?
A couple of things you've asked me. Firstly, I agree with you that you have to monetize your passion, what you call. You have to make some money. It's not just about money, but you have to pay the bills. You have to, and it's good to make money. And I don't like being poor. And people expect authors to be poor. आप तो राइटर हैं, आ जाइए, आ जाओ, आपको बोलने का मौका दे रहे हैं,
झोला लेके आ जाओ. A lot of people.
I don't have a jhola. I don't like jhola. I have a nice backpack and I have a nice laptop in it because I work and I work on a good laptop and I need a good phone and I need I need a lot of devices now I'm in New York. You guys are all over the world right now attending this. So that's the reality today. So I think all of you should not, there is a culture in India. Paisa mangne wala, how can you? I just came to New York. I've come here for my kids' college thing, but the culture in US, it's very business minded. There is no shame. They are only about, some would say they are too much about making money because they are always like, you see, American brands are everywhere. Bas or chahiye. Like thoda zyada hi hai wo. But India is on the other extreme. Ki Gandhi ji ki tarah raho. Simple living, high thinking, Gandhi ji की तरह हो. मेरे को एक बात बताओ, सारे अगर गांधी जी की तरह रहने लग जाएंगे इंडिया में, तो हमारे जीडीपी का क्या हाल होगा? We will crash. So then we should say, let's like crash the economy. Let's have a GDP contraction of 50%. Everybody should wear khadi dhoti and live and eat very little and don't have a car. And with all respect, he's father of my nation. I don't think there has been a greater man in our country. Okay, so there is no doubt. But that is not how all entrepreneurs don't contribute like that. Entrepreneurs don't become Gandhiji. Entrepreneurs have to create wealth. You're not only creating wealth for yourself, you're creating wealth for your company. So that your employees never feel that, oh, tomorrow, we are going to get fired. So there is a lot more about wealth that comes, and you have to learn how to do it. And I think half the people don't even think. We are not running NGOs here. This is Passionpreneur seminar. I am entrepreneur. It doesn't say Passion NGO. Nothing wrong with NGOs. If that's what you want to do it. Maybe I will do it also. Believe it or not, we are setting up a foundation for charity. Why? Because I've reached that stage in life where I feel, yaar, thoda charity bhi karna chahiye, thoda kuch karte hain logon ke liye. But this group that is here today, your job as the mini Gandhiji today is to make India rich. How will you make India rich? By becoming rich in a legal way. Because when you become rich in a legal way, you make money. Of course, you enjoy that money. but you also pay taxes. You also employ people. You also pay GST. You also build the economy. You add to GDP growth. It is a next level. It is not just about your, 3-bedroom house and everything. We have a responsibility. There was a generation which had the responsibility to get freedom. Today, you guys, you are the generation, you have the freedom. Now you make India rich. If you're not rich, nobody cares. You've seen in the world what is happening with the wars and all. Who has the औकात? अमीर आदमी की औकात होती है, यूएस की औकात होती है. Why? Because they are rich. Do we care about what some African country will say about the whole world affairs? No. When American president comes, we all sit up. Ore, aage, aage, aage. You know, so many have. It's the truth, man. Same for your. Why? Because औकात की बात है, boss. So now at a country level, we need to build it for India, and at your level also. जेब में पैसे नहीं होंगे ना, लोग इज्जत नहीं करते. बात पैसे की नहीं है. मैं अभी भी ऑमलेट पाव खा के खुश हूँ. सड़क पे कॉलेज के बाहर खाते थे, अभी भी आई एंजॉय एक कप ऑफ टी. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. आई कैन एंजॉय न्यूयॉर्क, आई कैन एंजॉय टपरी पे चाय. बट रिस्पेक्ट कम्स फ्रॉम मनी. यू आर लिसनिंग टू मी टुडे गाइस बिकॉज यू सी मी एज सक्सेसफुल.
That is so
वो
powerful.
इज्जत चाहिए. अपने को इज्जत मांगता है. आप सबको इज्जत चाहिए. यू ऑल नीड रिस्पेक्ट. डू इट फॉर दैट.
Who's mind?
Whenever you feel now, one day when you're working, you'll be consistent, you'll feel lazy, you'll forget this seminar, you'll forget Chetan Bhagat, you'll forget passion, ho gaya. You'll feel, why am I working? Yaar? I don't need the money, I'll live with less. You say, no, I'm not doing it for money, I'm doing it for respect. Apun ko respect mangta life mein. People should feel somebody has. So you will not be respected till you have money in your pocket, guys.
I realize it. So,
right? Did you feel that?
Yeah.
Have you been poor and have you been rich, and do you know the difference?
My dad was a truck driver, and
wow.
I lived in slums in Adipur, Kutch, Gujarat. And for 20 years, we lived in a house. The roof of it was cement sheet, the asbestos. It was in a slum where people fight, drink, gamble, abuse. Money ki paison ki कीमत, I really understood the value of money there, and I could not even pay extra money. My mom and dad are not educated. 20 years, I'm not only born, but brought up there. I finished my graduation there. And that is my maximum qualification and formal education. BCom graduate. That's all I can afford. My family could afford. I even borrowed money and sold the jewelry, little bit that they had, sold the house for me to just get an English medium education. And then from there, I got into job. I worked in job. Yes. So I was in poor family 20 years and poor class somewhere, lower middle class for 16 years. So only until last 4 years, I actually understood the power of money, that people start respecting you more. When I became multi-millionaire in last 4 years, driving Ferrari, 11-bedroom home, like I can still eat, vada pav on the street like that. But ab wo jo ijjat jo bol rahe na, it's a different level. Nobody's going to listen to us if you're broke. So making money is your duty, your responsibility. Becoming wealthy is your duty, because of not just for yourself, but for the economy and the people. And when you get respected, you can impact more lives. When you have money, people listen to you. And if people listen to you, you can change a lot of people's lives. So brilliant answer, brilliant answer. So the second part of the question, what exactly did you do for your branding? Like most of the authors are
okay. So yeah, that was the second part of your question. So let me tell you, I write very simple books, and that's why the reason for their success. Because everybody in India, it doesn't have like very hi-fi English. So they want to read simple books. They want to read Chetan Bhagat. For some reason, critics didn't like that. They didn't support me. My own community did not support me. In fact, they should have said, ki chalo ye chal raha hai, let's learn from him. Let's also, try to understand what he's doing. He's doing something for the publishing industry. But that industry is full of elitism, full of snobbish people, full of people who, just think like judging others and things like that. I don't like all that. So I realized कि ये लोग नहीं help करेंगे. I could become the biggest success. They will always talk badly about me, and they do. So I have to I will not have some critic, some mentor, some big guy writing about me saying you must. I have to make my own brand. So I pretty much decided that, which meant like, I had to put myself out there. Writers normally you don't know their face, but people know my face. Why? Because I was doing TV appearances, I was doing, everything. I was going out there giving interviews. I tried social media very early on. Today, though, I do YouTube and all as well. Um, it's very clear to me that writing and selling, I have to learn both. I'm being super honest. Writers don't like to admit. I am not the best author, guys. मैं नहीं हूँ, मेरे से better writer है. Obviously, मैंने engineering करी है, मैं कैसे best हो सकता हूँ? There must be PhDs in literature who may be. I am not the best author. I'm the best selling author. And that's what matters. That's why I'm sitting here in New York shopping for houses, because my kids are going to college and I was like, chalo, yahan bhi lete hain. No, but it's today. Don't go by this. I'm the same guy, Vada Pav. And I still will be. I'm actually missing Vada Pav in New York, but fine.
It just blew everybody's mind. And I really wish people can understand this. What you said is the pearl of wisdom. Most of the people just want to be good author, good writer, but they forget the most important part: market and sell yourself. And that is, I think, what you have really, mastered. That's why everybody knows who's Chetan Bhagat. He's not happened by luck. It's not happened by fluke. You put yourself out there, right? You did the content. You did, things that you probably do not enjoy or you do not know at the beginning. But you still put yourself out. Now probably it's become comparatively much easier, but I know it's still not easy sometimes to go yourself and put yourself out and do so many things. And now you're juggling so many hats. But I think now you're at a comfortable position that you can choose what you want to do and what you don't want to do. So that's a
now I'll be honest with you. I have something called FU money.
Sorry, say that again.
Money. I can't say that. FU money. F is the word I can't say. And guys, you need to get, what is FU money? What is FU money is a very important. You don't need to be the richest guy. You don't need to be Ambani. You don't need that in life. If you want, fine. I don't need that. What I need is to reach a point in life where I do the work because I want to do the work. I want to come to this summit. I want to come to this summit that I will wake up in the morning in New York and do it. It was earlier at 3 a.m. my time. I'd still said yes. You were very kind that you shifted my time and I could do it at 8 my time, which is fine. But I would have done it. At 47, 48 years old, I would have woken up at 2:30 a.m., taken a shower, done the thing, motivated you guys, gone back to sleep. So I still fight. So and that's the way, guys. और करना क्या है? I'll tell you one thing, guys. Without adding value to society, without some success to your name, बंदों की कोई औकात नहीं होती. कोई नहीं पूछेगा. माँ बाप शायद थोड़ा प्यार कर लेंगे, थोड़ा maybe, but after a while they'll also get sick of you. क्या कर रहा है? कुछ तो कर life में. You don't come to this world with any value. You have to create value. You have to make the world respect you. You have to help the world in some way. चाहे उनके लिए तुम वड़ा बनाओ, दो बनाओ, चाहे गन्ने का जूस बनाओ, चाहे make a cloud kitchen, or चाहे I don't know, make a Amazon, whatever you make, but you have to contribute something to the world, and that is where it all comes down to. That is what an entrepreneur is. An entrepreneur is someone who wants to add value to society and wants some value back in form of money, success, growth, respect. And it is the most exciting thing. I could never, ever go back to a job. Can you?
Absolutely not. Job is like it's a scary dream for me.
जितनी भी बढ़िया जॉब हो, जितनी भी बढ़िया जॉब हो, जितने भी पैसे हो, ये वो नहीं.
मेरे को अभी एप्पल का सीईओ भी बनाएंगे तो भी sorry, I cannot go back to doing a job. कितनी अच्छी position हो. And that is actually an interesting point that you shared. What would you say to people who are scared of quitting the jobs and actually, okay, you know what? Let me rephrase the question. Is it possible for anybody to be successful, to become successful, even when they never did a business, never did entrepreneurship? Is it possible for anybody to become successful in their own ways and quit the job and do whatever?
Today, yes. Because literally पहले तो बहुत ऐसे टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं थी, तो अगर आप कोई बहुत ही रिमोट बस्तर में रहते हो, तो कैसे करो, क्या धंधा करोगे वहां? अब technically, as long as you have a good data connection, business is happening. There is literally, guys, billions of dollars flowing on the internet right now as we speak. किसी ने कुछ खरीदा है, कुछ बेचा है, पैसा इधर से उधर जा रहा है हमारे आसपास. It's going through the air, literally. आपको थोड़ा सा पकड़ना है, थोड़ा सा, कि एक घर आ जाए, अच्छी गाड़ी आ जाए, बीवी बच्चे पाल लो, थोड़े अच्छे से जी लो, इतना पकड़ना है आपको. ऐसे बह रहा है. अब वो कहां से पकड़ना है? You have to figure out, right? This is the time. Of course, a lot of people who came in early made a lot of money, but it's not over yet in India. Abhi bhi India mein, it's not like every Indian person does online shopping. It's still there. There is still a lot happening. There are still new companies being made, and in the next 10 years they'll be made. So यार कुछ तो पकड़ा जा सकता है. You know, that's what I think. But you have to मन तो बनाना पड़ेगा, and maybe you have to make a little bit base. You need some support. I mean, every case is different. There are hundreds of people. I can't tell everyone what exactly to do. But yes, if you want the answer, yes, पैसा तो बह रहा है सर. अब वो आपके ऊपर, आप कितना मेहनत करके कितना अपने बकेट में इकट्ठा करना चाहते हो. बैठे रहोगे तो कुछ नहीं आएगा. नदियां बह रही हैं, आप बैठे रहोगे नहीं आएगा, फिर कैसे आएगा?
But how can somebody muster the courage? Let's say they want to invest in something, whether to start a business or mentorship. Like, for example, I know a lot of people will be scared when I give them the offer of mentorship program tomorrow. How do they muster the courage? Like, what is the thought process? Somebody...
देखो यार, लाइफ में चेंज आप लोगों को चाहिए, सबको चेंज चाहिए. लाइफ बदलनी है, चेंज करना है. चेंज पता कब आता है? चेंज लेक्चर सुनने से भी नहीं आता. मैं आपको ऑनेस्टली बता रहा हूँ. चेंज आता है एक्शन से. जब आप कोई एक्शन लेते हो, चेंज आएगा. आप मोटे हो, आप भागना शुरू करोगे, पतले होगे. खाना ध्यान रखोगे, पतले हो जाओगे. नाउ what is that? That's an action. I can see 100 videos on running. I can see 100 videos on diet. I can gain all the knowledge in the world. And yeah, knowledge has its place, but ultimately you have to take action. And you have to be that person who says, मेरे को action लेना है. कुछ कर जिसे कहते हैं ना, do something. And if you don't do it, you know, you want to travel, buy a ticket. Basically, you know, you want a job, make a resume, do something. करे बिना नहीं, कुछ नहीं होगा. Even though there is a million opportunities in the world. So do it. Take action towards your success. You know.
There's a 4 reasons why I shared earlier today. That 4 reasons why most of the people live like a zombie. That's my term. Living like zombie. They're living.
नहीं सही कह रहे हो आप. It makes me very sad that these companies like Facebook, like Google, which are great companies, no doubt, amazing stocks to buy. I bought them long ago, by the way. So nothing against the companies, but they have made algorithms to trap you in Insta Reels, in things like that, which you can't, you don't even realize 1 घंटा बीत गया, 2 घंटे बीत गए, रातें बीत गई. Time that could be spent. 3 hours if you're wasting on the phone. Normally people are wasting much more. Chalo, some things on the phone you're doing useful, but 3 hours if you're wasting, put 3 hours in something for 1 year. Anything on your body, on your business, 3 hours a day. See where you will be in 1 year. So you are basically trapped in an algorithm, in a computer program, which is selecting what to show you, and they know that you will not take your brain away. You don't have that much self-control. And you want to become successful entrepreneur. क्या कर रहे हो यार? You're young. जिंदगी waste मत करो. I'm 48. I'm telling you, I feel good. I have a lot of energy, but I still feel, यार, I wish I was 28. You know, like और time होता. Don't freaking waste time watching stupid reels. क्या कर रहे हो? लड़के हमारे देश के बॉर्डर पे कर रहे हैं क्या? लड़के हमारे देश के यूनिकॉर्न्स खोल रहे हैं. लड़के हमारे देश के ओलंपिक के गोल्ड मेडल जीत रहे हैं, और तुम बैठ के इंस्टा रील देख रहे हो. You guys are watching Insta reels when somebody won a javelin gold medal, and somebody opened a unicorn in the last year, and somebody defended our border. How can you look at yourself in the mirror? What is this? Don't waste your time on a stupid algorithm.
Very powerful. Very powerful. I remember about the action also. The very, very powerful. I'm sure a lot of people are already connecting with you. Passioners, mind blown. This is by the way, our action. Whenever we learn something which is like, out of the world, we do that is mind blown. I see a lot of people are mind blown already. I've opened the chat. How many of you are mind blown? Just put it in the chat box. with the knowledge, the wisdom, which is coming like an AK-47, at the speed of that. Something you mentioned about action. A lot of people actually scared of taking action, but there's only two pains in the world: the pain of taking action and moving forward, or the pain of regret. And as they say, the pain of regret, I think, is the heaviest pain anybody can have. When you say that, I wish I would have done this earlier, I think everybody says this, that I wish I would have learned this. I would also say that, I wish I would have learned this 20 years ago, 10 years ago. All the people, I think, is really, really mind blown. So all of you, action is the key, right? Believing in yourself is the key. Taking the risk, showing the courage is key. Nobody's born entrepreneur. You have to figure things out. Becoming wealthy, I'm just summarizing some of the brilliant points that I've noted down in my mind. Becoming wealthy is your duty. That is how you contribute. Respect comes from success. You become wealthy, you will be respected. Otherwise, koi puchne wala nahi hai, right? How does spiritual aspect help you to get rid of the corporate world? Did you tap into your spiritual power? If so, how did you get into that?
Well, spirituality is a very, very broad field. And obviously, I may have a beard, but I'm not a guru. Okay. So I'm not going to be an expert in spirituality, but to me, spirituality basically begins from connecting with yourself, having a very deep understanding of yourself and facing the truth, you know. And I'm not like perfect at it, but I'm trying to get better at it. Face the truth. Whatever it is, you face the truth, you be true to yourself, you know. And I think that's where spirituality comes from. You do things legally, you try to make money, but and you try to be good to people, you try to be kind to people, whether you call it spiritual, whether you call it religious. All religions teach the same, you know that be nice to people, be kind, you know be a good human being. It's so spirituality, as some of it is being a good human being, and some of it is being true to yourself. There are two things: connecting to yourself and being a good human being. So yes, an entrepreneur is spiritual. I think an entrepreneur does things because it's what they really want to do. That's how they help society. We don't judge it. We feel like, "Arey, ye to paise bana raha hai," but they are helping society, right? I mean, they are whatever it is. Even if he's selling sandwiches on the road, he's helping someone. If he's selling ganne ka juice, sugarcane juice on the road, somebody was thirsty and they feel refreshed. He's doing something. So to me, that is spiritual. you know and I tell stories and I try to motivate people. So that's what I try to do, and that's my truth. I can do balance sheets and I can look at companies in a bank, but that's not me. That's And it may make me a lot of money at that time, like for example, but that spiritually was not agreeing with me because it's not connecting with me inside. So it is the same. Passion, spirituality, they are kind of coming from the same place, your inner being.
Yeah. And my definition also is something similar about spirituality. That first, spirituality is nothing but knowing yourself, connecting with yourself, inner universe, before you connect with outside. And the second aspect for me is adding value to people. I think you covered both really, really well. There is nothing more spiritual than adding value to people, right? And entrepreneurship is that. Game of business is nothing but spirituality. Can you add more value, more than what people expect, and you keep adding more and more and more? The money will also keep following more and more and more. And one of the aspects I really love, and I think this second question is also similar to that. I personally, I want to share this with you. I hardly read any novels, but I read, I think, few of your novels. I've been a very lazy reader until the age of 33. I did not read. Sidney Sheldon was probably one book I read somewhere, but your books I really connected with because it was easy. So you were actually a disruptor. Like if you look at all the Indian authors who were there, when you were looking at different aspects, I think you disrupted the market by made it simple. So there's one question which was, I forgot the name. Oh yeah, Uday Bhanu. Uday Bhanu says, do you think you are a born writer, like a talented, or you develop that skill over time?
I don't know, guys. I don't even know if I'm that talented. I'm good, and I think you do get better. So it's a mix of both in life. You can't just say, okay, nobody's so talented that like even the most talented musician, they have to practice a lot. Even Lata Mangeshkar had to do a lot of practice. Riyaz, she would do. All musicians play a lot of music, so you have to do it. But I do have some talent. I'm sure I have some talent for expressing myself in a interesting way. But I think a lot of it has just been practice and learning and working hard for 20 years. I mean, I don't think I could have spoken like this or motivated people like this 20 years ago. Today, because of my experience, but also because of practice. And yeah, every time I practice, I mean, every time I make a YouTube video, it's a YouTube video, but it's also my practice in speaking. So yeah, I think it's both, guys. Dono hota hai. You need some talent, but a lot of practice. I think that's the answer.
What is your way of learning? Like, did you have a mechanism or way of learning, or you learn from experience? What is your way
You
of?
learn from reading, like riyaz, we call it, like, in music, you call it riyaz, practice, whatever. I learned by doing, and I learned by taking feedback from people. So I would write, show it to people, get feedback, improve it, get reactions. And I'm now lucky I get thousands of reviews from readers, not critics. So those I look at it and try to see, what's the rating. Like, for example, my last book, 400 Days, it has a rating of 4.4 out of 5 with the like 7 8,000 ratings in. So that's a good number. Because some are just haters, so they will just do all kind of crap stuff there. But to get that 4.4 in my 10th book, when the expectations keep rising, I mean, that's incredible. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yes, I'm also trying something like that, and my first book is still just got 800 reviews. It's still 4.
That's very good, man. For your kind of book, like, it's self, because most people don't want self. Most
Yes,
people don't want to help themselves. Kya kare? They don't want it. So I've realized this, and I'm okay with this. I'm okay with motivating people who really want to learn. Like the people who have come here today want to get better. I'm okay with that. It's not just about more and more and more. If someone doesn't want to improve, how can I improve them?
100% true. 100% true.
I will say this. There is no rewind button in life. There is no pause button. Life will keep going on. And you have to decide what kind of person you want to be. It's very easy to waste your life. It's very easy to do it. Okay. And there are companies in the world who are trying to make you do it by distracting you on the phone, by giving you junk food, by showing you, photos of girls wearing less clothes, and you're just wasting your bloody life. And it hurts me. It personally hurts me because all of you are like my younger brothers, younger sisters, and I do not like this. I don't want you to do this. Now that you've come here today, tell yourself you will not become a slave to computer algorithms, junk food marketing, you know, make muscles, make money. That's it. That's like today looking good is being fit, which is great. Become fit. You look good. You'll get a great partner. So you'll never have to worry about boyfriend, girlfriend, because everybody will say, "Arey yaar, ye hai," and make money because that gets you the respect. You know, there are opportunities around you. There are. You know it. You know there is something you want to do, and you just have to go for it. If you can't go for it right now, make a plan for it. एक साल बाद चले जाओ, 2 साल बाद चले जाओ, but one day you have to take a jump, you know. But don't waste your damn life, man. Just because data is cheap, food is also cheap. सस्ता data, सस्ता आटा. इससे मर जाओगे तुम. People are like, okay, fine, yeah, so what if I make 5,000 rupees a month? I can spend 100 rupees on food. I'll have chole bhature, I'll have kurkure at night, and I'll watch Insta reels for 5 hours. That is a shit life. That is for teacher life. You deserve better. You can do better. Reach your potential. Live an awesome life. That's really what it's about. You all can. I'm not saying everybody can be a Adani, but you can live much better life than sasta data, sasta aata life. Don't do that.
I love this analogy of Sasta Data, Sasta Aata. I probably remember this for a very long time, Sasta Aata. All right. So I have different concepts that I've created. Like I've created Quit 9 to 5, Build Business on Passion. And there's one more second book that I've written on. The book's name is 6 Sundays a Week Life. Like, how can you live every day as if it is Sunday? So if I had to ask you, do you believe that every day can be a Sunday? And what comes to your mind? Because a lot of people, when they look at 6 Sundays a week, that means sitting on the beach and doing nothing. So what 6 Sundays a week life mean to you in your?
Honestly, 6 Sundays, it's an interesting concept, and I know it's nice. It basically means you don't know what and it happens to me. I don't know what day of the week it is. I don't know. I have to check. आज कौन सा दिन है? Because I don't know it's weekend or not, because there is no such thing for me. Sometimes my friends, like some of my friends are working in banks. अरे हाँ weekend पे मिल सकते हैं. अच्छा हाँ इसका तो he can only. For me, what is Monday and what is Sunday? What is it? Right? You could have done this webinar on Sunday. I would have been still doing it. Friday. What is it now in India? It's Friday, right? So yeah, yesterday. I don't know. So it's that when the concept of Sunday and why Sunday is amazing is we don't do work on Sunday. So Sunday is amazing. Is the assumption that work is horrible. That's why Sunday is amazing. But I like my work. I honestly like my work. I like my markets where I invest my money. And Saturday, Sunday, the stock market is closed. I don't like that. I'm waiting for Monday because when the market opens, of course, I don't like it when the market goes down, but fine. Okay, but I want like that. And sometimes I'm working on a deal, and normally we work all the, but on Friday I'm waiting, and then some office I'll send something or some government thing I'm waiting on, whatever it is. And they'll say, Acha, abhi to Friday ho gaya, Monday dekhenge. And I'm like, why? Why these 2 days in the middle? You know? So I don't know whether you call that 6 Sundays. It doesn't mean you don't work, but it just means it doesn't matter, right? Life is good every day. So in that way, if you, this concept is for people who only see Sunday as good. So for them, 6 Sundays means every day is a Sunday. But you can tell me every day is a Monday also, it's fine.
That's true. And that's exactly, I think we both think so alike that, a lot of people say, 6 Sundays mean,
Nice.
each not working. I said, no, it's like every day is a Sunday because you're doing things that you love, and that's
क्या
exactly.
करेगा बीच पे बैठ के? What are you going to do on the stupid beach
Exactly.
all day, Monday to Friday? What are you going to do? Are you lifeguard? Even there, I'd be like, if I have to be on the beach, I'd be like, कुछ तो काम दो मुझे. Give me a lifeguard job, make me open a cafe, let me sell coconuts.
Do something at least meaningful.
क्या करेगा सब बंदे बैठ के वहां पे पूरा दिन क्या करोगे? I guarantee you would be bored out of your bloody mind.
I already tried, by the way. I already tried. The day when I actually quit my job and made decent amount of money, I said, yeah, you know what? Now relax, not to do work. I got bored to hell. I think, why? What is the meaning? Like, is this why? Is this the life that I've always wanted?
No, that is not what it is about, guys. That is not about like being engaged, living your potential, having respect. ऐसा नहीं है. एक दिन रिटायर नहीं होना है. ओल्ड एज होम जाने का सेमिनार थोड़ा है कि हाउ टू गेट टू ओल्ड एज होम.
There's no retirement from passion. There's never ever retirement passion. Only
day. What retirement? You retire the day you die.
Yes.
Then it's done.
You retire.
What is it?
Yes.
No one is retiring here.
When you die, you retire. That's all. So last question that I have, I think, we are right on time. First of all, thank you so much. But one thing is, if you had to go back in history, let's say 20 years, and you had to give any advice to yourself, because at Passionpreneur, we don't believe in slow and stable wins the race. Just like you believe in fast and steady wins the race. So if you had to give a suggestion to younger Chetan Bhagat, that how do you have the speed with stability, like no crazy speed and they crash into something. You have speed but stability. What 2 cents that you will share with younger Chetan Bhagat?
Yeah. So speed doesn't mean you're like, oh, aise nahi hai, like you're always like, wired up. That's not speed. Speed means you're consistent. It's a marathon wala speed. We are not talking sprinting, because sprinting, you get tired. Even the best sprinters in the world, the moment the sprint is over, they're very tired because they're putting everything. This is a long race. This is cross-country race. So here speed means constant, consistent commitment. 3 C's: constant, consistent commitment. So you're committed. करना है और रोज करना है. रोज करना है. कुछ करना है रोज, right? And if you keep doing that for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you will achieve something, and then people around you will say, अरे इसकी तो लाइफ ही बदल गई यार, and they will see it as sprint, but you knew because you are only seeing book release to book release for me, film release to film. अरे एक और आ गई इसकी, अरे 3 dates आ गई, अरे 2 states आ गई, क्या हो रहा है, you know, ये तो हर जगह है. But for me, like, the 3 dates book came in 2004, the movie came 2009 end, that's whole 5 years, long time, right? And the 2 states book came in 2009 9, and the movie came 2014, and from 2004 to 14 is 10 years, so this is a long, it's very long, but it's still speed because I was consistently working.
Wow, that is so, so powerful. I think there's no better way to end this session. 3 C's, remember all the notes. I hope you took tons and tons of notes. I actually took a lot of mental notes, and after this, I'm going to write some things. I really love spending time and, knowing more about your life, Chetanji. And thank you so much for inspiring so many people. I really wish, we had more time to spend with you. I know you're a busy man, and you have a lot of commitments. Thank you so much for adjusting your time schedule, waking up early, and getting this thing done. Thank you so much. I'm really, really blessed to have you on the show. May God bless you and keep inspiring more and more people with your work, with whatever you're writing, speaking, training, coaching, whatever you plan to do with your investment. May God bless you and make you wealthiest so that you can help others, also inspire people to become wealthy as well.
Okay, thank you guys. I'm sorry if I was tough sometimes, but I love you. And real love is tough love, man. I mean, कोई ऐसे आके बोलता, हाँ तुम बड़े अच्छे हो, सब बड़े अच्छे, सब अच्छा कर रहे हो, जो कर रहे हो सही हो, be who you are, love yourself. ऐसे नहीं होता, sir. You need sometimes. I need एक, कड़क थोड़ा चाहिए हमें. It's nice to hear it, even though I may have reached a point. It's still nice to know. I love you guys too. All of you saying it. Thank you for having me. We should do more stuff, man.
Look forward to it. Look forward to it, Chetanji. Nice. Someday we'll love to connect with you as well. Good luck for your travel, and God bless you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.